Welcome back to Character Conversions, where I try to bring fictional characters to life in D&D. Today's build, we are building the former Emperor's Hand, Mara Jade. For stats, we'll be using the standard array of the player's handbook, divided up as you see here. Dexterity is our primary combat stat, intelligence will be what we use for our force-like abilities, our constitution needs to be decent because the woman managed to survive a Vong poison and keep on fighting. For race, we are of course human, so we'll be going with variant human. This increases our dexterity and constitution by 1 each to 16 and 14 respectively. Our skill of choice will be sleight of hand, and for our feat we'll be grabbing telepathic, because the Emperor hands were known to have a telepathic connection with the Emperor. This will increase our intelligence by +1 to a 15 and allow us to telepathically speak with any creature within 60 feet of us, but only if we share a language. We're also able to cast the Detect Thoughts spell with no components once per long rest. For background, we will be going with Criminal, specifically the spy variant of it, because I feel that is what the Emperor's Hand position is trained to be. This gives us proficiency with the Deception and Stealth skills, proficiency with a gaming set of our choice, choose whatever you like, maybe Chess to blend in with High Society, and Thieves Tools, which we will be trading using Tasha's proficiency swaps to instead gain proficiency with the Disguise Kit, as Mara was highly trained in such. Our feature is Criminal Contact. This gives us a liaison to the criminal underworld and a network of other criminals, probably some form of Imperial Informant or Talon Card. For class, we'll be starting out in Rogue. This gives us a D8 hit die, proficiency with Dexterity and Intelligence saves. For skills, we will pick up Acrobatics, Athletics, Investigation, and Perception. We're proficient with light armor and simple weapons, hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, and short swords. Finally, we have proficiency with Thieves' Tools. As a first level rogue, we gain expertise in 2 skills of our choice, of which we will be choosing Stealth and Thieves' Tools. Stealth because of our role as a spy and assassin, and Thieves' Tools because it's the closest approximation I can think of being a skilled slicer in Star Wars. Next we gain 1d6 of sneak attack, and finally, knowledge of Thieves' Cant. At second level, Rogue grants us Cunning Action. Now we can take the dash, disengage, or hide actions as a bonus action. Third level in Rogue means we choose our roguish archetype. We are going with Scout. While Mara did operate as an assassin, Scout gives us a wider breadth of skills, which I think better represents how multi-talented Mara was. This grants us Skirmisher, Survivalist, and our sneak attack die increases to 2d6. Skirmisher makes it so we can move at half our speed as a reaction when an enemy ends their turn within 5 feet of us, without provoking opportunity attacks. Survivalist makes us proficiency with nature and survival, as well as doubling our proficiency bonus with these skills. I imagine these were quite useful for working the Talon Card. At 4th level, now that we have a nice basis for our skills as an Emperor's Hand, we will move on to our combat skills. For that, we will jump over to Fighter. This grants us a Fighting Style and Second Wind. For Fighting Style, we will choose Superior Technique to pick up the Riposte maneuver. Next, we gain Second Wind, allowing us to regain 1d10 plus our fighter level and hit points once per short or long rest as a bonus action. Our second level in Fighter gives us Action Surge, allowing us to take an additional action on our turn once per short or long rest. As a third level fighter, we choose our Martial Archetype. We'll be going with what is widely accepted as the Jedi subclass, Psi Warrior. This grants us Psionic Power, giving us a number of Psionic Energy die equal to 2 times our proficiency bonus that restore on a long rest. In addition, as a bonus action, we can restore a single Psionic Energy dice once per short or long rest. Spending our Psionic Energy die allows us to use the following powers: Protective Field, Psionic Strike, and Telekinetic Movement. Protective Field allows us to, as a reaction to being damaged or an ally being damaged within 30 feet, roll a Psionic Energy die and add our Intelligence modifier, reducing the damage by the result. Psionic Strike allows us to, once on each of our turns after hitting a target within 30 feet, expend a Psionic die and add the result plus our Intelligence modifier to the damage. Telekinetic Movement allows us to, as an action, target a loose object that is large or smaller, or one willing creature other than ourselves within 30 feet and move it up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space. If the object is tiny, we can move it to or from our hand. Once we take this action, we can't do so again without a short or long rest or spending a Psionic Energy die. 7th level and our 4th level in Fighter is our first ability score improvement. We'll be dropping this into our Dexterity, raising it to an 18. 5th level Fighter grants us Extra Attack. Now when we take the attack action, we can make 2 attacks instead of 1. 6th level Fighter is our next ability score improvement. We'll drop this into our Dexterity again, capping it off at 20. 7th level Psi Warriors gain Telekinetic Adept. This grants us Psi-powered Leap and Telekinetic Thrust. Psi-powered leap allows us to, as a bonus action, gain a flying speed equal to 2 times our walking speed until the end of our current turn. We can do this only once per short or long rest unless we spend a psionic energy die to do so again. Telekinetic thrust allows us to force a target to make a strength save when we deal damage with a psionic strike. If the target fails, we knock the target prone or move it up to 10 feet in any direction horizontally. 8th level fighter is another ability score improvement. We'll trade this one for the mobile feat. Mara uses Form 4 Ataru of lightsaber combat, so we want to make sure we can effectively bounce around the battlefield. This increases our speed by 10 feet. When we dash, we can ignore difficult terrain. When we make a melee attack against a creature, we don't provoke opportunity attacks from that creature for the rest of the turn. 9th level fighters gain Indomitable, allowing us to reroll a saving throw that we fail once per long rest, but we must use the new roll even if it is worse. 10th level Psi Warriors gain Guarded Mind. We now have resistance to psychic damage, and should we start our turn charmed or frightened, we can expend a psionic energy die and end those conditions. 11th level in fighter, our extra attack improves. Now when we take the attack action, we can make 3 attacks instead of 1. In addition, our psionic energy die increases to a d10. 15th level and our 12th level in fighter is another ability score improvement. We'll trade this for the skill expert feat. This will increase our intelligence by 1 to a 16, we gain proficiency in 1 skill, let's pick up persuasion, and finally we gain expertise in 1 skill of our choice, of which we will choose athletics because we're a practitioner of Form 4. Our 13th level in fighter is brief. We now have 2 uses of Indomitable for long rest. At 17th level we gain another ability score improvement. We'll drop this into our intelligence, raising it to an 18. 15th level Psi Warriors gain Bulwark of Force. Now as a bonus action we can choose a number of creatures up to our intelligence modifier and grant them half cover for 1 minute or until we are incapacitated. We can only do this once per long rest unless we expend a psionic energy die to do so again. At 19th level we gain our final ability score improvement. We'll drop this into our intelligence, capping it off at 20. 20th level, the capstone of our build, we gain additional use of both Action Surge and Indomitable per long rest. In addition, our psionic energy die increases to a d12. End result sees us with an average of 150 hit points. With light armor, we likely have an AC of 17. Because Aldori swords aren't a thing, we likely use a short sword or a scimitar, so our average damage will be 8 per hit. With extra attack, that's 24 a round. Psionic Strike can add an average of 6 damage to that, and with Sneak Attack add an additional 7, for a possible average of 37 damage a round. Not terrible. Our skills are varied. Whether we need to infiltrate a location or survive in the wilderness, we should be fairly confident. In combat, our focus is to remain mobile and move around the battlefield, probably flavoring our high movement and dashes as jumping and flipping to replicate Ataru. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment your opinions or suggestions for new builds. I hope all your 20s are natural. See you next time.